range again today. A couple of new rifles, which I'll show you in a minute. Not really the best day to be down here, but that's okay. What we're doing today is getting some speeds and running some brand new barrels in, which is pretty cool. How about I go and set a target up the back there? I'm just going to set up at 100 yards. Today's just going to be bore sighting and running some speeds over the chronograph and just seeing how it goes, really, setting up a couple of new rifles. So okay, here they are. A couple of very similar rifle platforms. We'll go over them really quick and then we'll get into it. This is the Howa Super Lite, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Going to be running that today. Carbon fibre stock, and we're going to run the Spartan ultralight bipod as well. Brand new on top here is the Vixen. We're just running a pretty basic scope on it, a Vixen V1, and it is the 4-16 by 44 model. So that's brand new rifle, brand new scope, and I haven't shot the Creedmoor for a while now, so this will be kind of interesting. And second is the 300 PRC, and that is also dropped into a Howa carbon fibre stock. Very nice rifle. On top of this rifle is a Vixen V3, and this is the 2.5 to 15 by 50 with the illumination. So it's a nice scope. I really like the scope. Alright, first things first, guys. When you get a rifle straight out of the factory, get your cleaning kit. You're going to have to clean that baby big time, first things first. So we're going to run some patches through this baby, through the Creedmoor, and then I'm going to do 2 shots, clean again, 2 shots. And so today with the Creedmoor we're going to be going straight to hand loads. Not going to waste time on factory ammunition with it, and we're going to be loading reloader 17 and reloader 26 as our test loads, see how they go. Not going to be expecting too much from those hand loads, to be honest, for accuracy. Got the chronograph here as well to get our speeds and things like that. I'm still going to be running this barrel in, so I'm not going to really expect much, like really good accuracy, until we've done sort of 15-20 rounds through it. But we'll see how we go. I was surprised on the Super Lite. The contour on the barrel was not as thin as other lightweight rifles, and I think that's a good thing. So I think Howa have taken a lot of the weight out of where the weight should be taken out and left weight in where it should be left in. So that's really neat. So if you actually have a look at the action, it's all been shimmed off. The bolt is really thin. You would not want to run this in a WISM case or something like that. You'd end up in hospital. The stock is crazy light. It's under 500 grams. So they've done really, really well with it. So on the bench, the rifle alone was 2.11 kilos on a 20-inch barrel, which is crazy light. So let's get into it. I'm really keen to shoot it. So I always try and go, I say 4 shots to 0 for setting up a brand new rifle. It's generally all you get with these lightweight sporter contour barrels. So what I do for my bore sight is I drop the rifle down like this, and I actually just get the iometer out and I just eye up the bore with my target, and then I hold it there and basically move the scope to suit. And what I always do is, because the bullet drops over that distance, always come up, down about half a page. I usually find that gets me bore sighted onto an A4 page. So we'll see if we can go 4 shots to pretty much 0, at 100 yards. So I just bore sight. I don't use any electrical or electronic stuff. That's all I do. So we'll see how close my bore sight is. Sweet, so that's the first 2 shots. They were just off the left hand side of the page. They're okay, they're like 2 inches apart, but they're the first 2 shots the rifle's ever done. So they were 2580 with a 147 ELD match, hand loads, and 2599. So it's all good. So what I like to do now is, in order to zero the scope, what I do, set my crosshairs where I want to be zeroed. So I'm setting them where I want my projectiles to be going. It's quite easy to do it by yourself as well. Set this rifle up exactly there and then hold it rigid, and then you just move the turrets towards the center of your holes that you just shot. So that had to come across about 7 MOA, and I'm going to come up to my holes. That will usually get me within an inch and a bit of where I need to be. So I'm going to actually set this rifle aside and shoot the PRC now, so this can cool off well and truly with the bolt open. So I'll set that aside for a good 10 minutes. Time to jump on the 300, which is going to be a bit different on the shoulder. So what I wanted to do with the 300 PRC was basically treat it how it's been kind of marketed, for a bit of fun, I guess. I don't usually buy factory ammo, but what I've got there is the 225 grain ELD match, just loaded in a factory Hornady brass. So that's just factory ammunition. Send it down through this PRC. This is just like an off-the-shelf kind of package kit, and we'll just see how it goes. So I've just bore sighted it. I'll just clean that barrel now again as well, because they do come pretty dirty. And advertised speed for that 225 grains meant to be 2.810 out of this length barrel, so we'll see what we get on our chrono. Okay, 2699. Typical factory. It's not running that hot though. That's a big bang. It's goody. It's a good bang. And here I was thinking I'll go for like a tame 30 cal, not a 300 rum like I used to have. But whatever. The rifle's pretty light, like it's 2.8 kilos rifle only, so it's actually lighter than my 284 Winchester without a thing, so it's basically just under 3.4 kilos total weight. So, but that's okay, it's all good, feels right. Right, I'll put the second shot through it. Okay, let's have a look at some of our PRC speeds. That's so bad. 2744, 2699, 2699. That's so weird. How did we get one down there? I don't think this Vixen is holding up to it. No. 2710 for the speed. Might just put one more through it. No, I'm going to move the scope. I have a feeling that scope, it's almost like it's not liking it. Ready? Okay. So I'm going to just put 2 into about 3/4 of an inch, the last 2 shots, but it's got one that spat out see how this one goes. No, that's mint. It's about half an inch off where I aimed. Okay, it's pretty darn cool. That's a cool gun, guys. That is a nice rifle. Alright, so I just shot the Creedmoor twice again. Different powder charge. It's another grain higher. Shot 2.6, 2.4, 2.6, 4.5. So spreads are not very good. I don't know if it's the Starline brass, but it's okay. So it is pretty much zeroed. 4 shots to 0, guys, from bore sight. So I'll just go to the target and show you, but it's probably still shooting like 1.5 inch groups. But I would kind of, it's a very hard rifle to shoot. But there's a few things that I figured out with the Howa that I really like. A few things that I think are good. I was saying before, all the weight is in the right part of the rifle. The balance on the rifle is actually in front of the magazine, so it's quite far forward, so the rifle doesn't jump around that much, even though it's crazy light. My scope's only 415 grams and the rings are only 60 grams. It's crazy light and it doesn't really jump around, so that's really cool. For the Creedmoor we got shot 1 and 2, so I had to come up, find it, clicked it down, 3, didn't adjust the scope, just put the 4th shot through. So that's pretty cool. So I've come up a half an inch, but then we're going to change the powder charge once we get to there, and then we're going to change the powder type once we get to here. PRC bore sight, clicked it up, moved it across into here, 2nd shot, and then it spat the 3rd shot and it felt really weird, like I think it was me, because the rifle kicked, just poof, booted off to the side. So I'm going to shoot another couple of, and leave that 0 and shoot 2 more shots and see if we can get it into there. But if you've ever shot a big 30 cal, if you do it wrong, it's not very accurate. So I find them both quite hard rifles to shoot because they're very, very lightweight. So probably need a bit more practice. But I will say this, the PRC, the normal 1500 action, it just feeds butter smooth out of that magazine box. Like, it's buttery smooth. You don't even really notice that nice modern sharp shoulder beltless Magnum case is even going into that chambering. The Creedmoor feeds really bad. Like, it feels terrible. You kind of, for the weight you get, you compromise on the quality of the rifle big time. So I would say the magazine, just that sort of magazine runs directly center, and the way it just pops out of the magazine, it just feels terrible. So I'd say if it's a bush kind of really quiet rig, it's going to be quite difficult. Anyway, back into it. Just one thing I will say about this Howa action, and the new action, is if you're a hand loader and you're looking for max pressure, just be careful, because once you disengage the trigger, it's actually, the tolerances on the action are really tight, so getting that bolt up, it sort of feels like that sticky bolt feel. So you really need to keep an eye, because that's fine, but you really need to keep an eye on your pressure signs on the back, because your bolt won't actually give you any difference in feel, because it's quite a heavy bolt already. So there you go, little tip if you're hand loading, just keep a real good eye on your pressure signs on the back of your cases. So now I'm actually running different powder. This is Reloader 26. So we'll see how this groups. Speed's way down. It's 24.87, but I've started really low because there was no data. Oh wow, that's okay. It's way down. Really low loads, but I prefer that than the other way. So just do 2 through here. I think this could be quite accurate actually. Just check the spreads and stuff too. That's about an inch, 25.04, but it's going pretty slow, so it's good. Yeah, really slow. Right, 26.98. Sorry, 25.98. It's 2600. Reloaded 26. Really good. Okay, so here's the 300 PRC. So these 2 shots here. I moved into shot a 3-shot group up here. But I just got, I don't know, it started there and then it sent 2 up into here. You know, those 2 are like, they're okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that great. But anyway, Creedmoor down here. Got your reloader 17 on the left, reloader 26 on the right, which has always produced better spreads and better accuracy for me. So I'm going to do the last reloader 26 into here. I'm probably not going to do that last 17, I don't know. And the PRC, I'm going to put 1 more and see where it lands, because I'm like, it's starting to settle down. I have to be reasonable because it is straight out of the box, brand new out of the box, and I can't expect too much of it after the 6th shot. But the speeds and extreme and spreads are really settling in now as well, which is good. So, like, it just shot 2 duplicates of 27.24 and then a 27.20, so it shot over 3 shots. 3 feet per second spread, no 4. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for factory stuff. Well, actually that's pretty much perfect for factory. But the speed started, they were all over the show, so I would say big magnums in that, especially 30 cals and 7mm mags. Definitely need a good 20 shots to start coming right, so it's good. I do find yeah, both the rifles are really nice to shoot. So the Howa setup on that ultralight bipod's not that great because it moves around a little bit when you're trying to load up the bipod. But yeah, a couple more shots and then I am out of here. There you go, guys. A couple of new Howa rifles. Just the start. I'll be coming out to the range with them a few more times. Well, quite a few more times. 300 PRC's hopefully going to go down for tar or chamois. 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be my below 400 yards kind of close quarters rifle. So yeah, pretty happy with it, to be honest. Like, pretty happy with how that went. The PRC starting to behave a little bit better, and Creedmoor looks like a reloader 26 load is going to work out pretty well. Probably got a couple of grains higher that I can go, so it should get me in the ballpark of around 2700 feet per second with the 147 ELD match, which would be really good. So yeah, I will see you on the next one. Catch ya.